Pass ISD Breakfast in the Classroom Procedures. All items are first carefully counted in the cafeteria to match each classroom's individual rosters. The count is double-checked with the class roster, which is then added to the cooler. Coolers are delivered by either a cafeteria worker or a selected student helper. Teachers must watch each student take the meals from the cooler. There are two methods to ensure that a meal is taken in its entirety. You can complete the roster at the door while the students enter through each day, while watching each student take breakfast or watching them decline. You need to ask students to take a seat before breakfast, position yourself next to the cooler, and call each student one at a time to retrieve their breakfast while monitoring. This will ensure students take all the components of the planned meal. If the teacher is passing out the food, they must wear gloves. Teachers must fill out their class roster every day. They must place a check mark if the student receives breakfast or an X if the student refuses to take a meal. You only put A if the student is absent. Please make sure to mark the date by each service day, Monday through Friday, and then add your name to the bottom if the teacher chooses to take a meal as well. Teachers check to make sure all food items are taken. Any extra food items are to be placed on a shared table. All claimed and shared food items must be disposed by the end of breakfast time. Either you appoint a student for trash duty or the teacher will leave the trash outside themselves. Please place the tied up trash bags outside the classroom to be picked up by a custodian later throughout the day. Students are only allowed whole fruit until lunchtime. No other items are allowed. Teachers should not store any extra food items in their classroom. Please request extra paper towels for cleanup. At the end of breakfast, return refused and/or absent student meals along with the completed roster in the coolers to the cafeteria. You can send the coolers back with a student helper. Be sure all items match up to the completed roster and the whole meal for the student is accounted for. Once coolers are returned, they are verified by the staff to ensure all meals were accounted for correctly.